Hi everyone, this is CrimsonFox45, and today MiHoYo just released a video titled "Spoiler Alert," and this morning I just had to basically just watch it, and well, I never really think much about it. I thought maybe it had, it was maybe just some information about the next story chapter, but when I watched the video, wow, I mean, like I was blown away. I mean, it was just so sick and insane, but like insane in like a good type of insane, basically. It was just like, sure, I mean, like so much of like shocking stuff happened in that one video. I mean, okay, so I suggest you guys head over to the Honkai Impact 3rd YouTube page and just watch that video. And what I'm going to do is basically I'm not going to play the video here because I don't want to get any copyright strikes or anything like that. So I'll just go to the points that I just want to discuss, which looked really interesting. So I mean, this was like really like hectic. I mean, I didn't really expect anything like this to happen, but wow. Okay, so basically it just starts off with a scene where we see Fu Hua, like in this water. Whoops. She's in. Okay, this video is just reloading. Oh, actually. Okay, what happened here? Okay, let's just go back and. Okay, that's really odd. Let's go back. Here we go. Let's just pause that. Let's just change the quality here quickly. Cool. Okay, so basically Fu Hua is floating, sinking down in this water, and you can see this weird crack. So we assume that it's probably like a consciousness, I guess. She says deep in this boundless dream. Let's just see if she said anything before that. No. She says deep in this boundless dream she stares at a warped self, I think. And then what's interesting here, if you look closely, I think this might be her Shadow Knight armor. I'm not too sure because it has a bit of purple accents to it, and it looks similar to her Shadow Knight armor. So here we get the idea that she's basically floating. Well, basically she's unconscious at the moment, or she's basically fighting to regain consciousness. Well, not really fighting, but yeah, she's basically another entity is basically taking over. That's what we get. Then we basically introduced to the scene here, the cityscape scene. I'm not too sure exactly where this is. And we see Durandal basically fighting this figure here. And we actually see that Durandal is actually having a really hard time battling. I'm just going to call this Dark Fu Hua for now. But I don't know, I just really like this kind of like shadowy, like dark kind of entity kind of design here. And we see she's actually struggling quite a bit. Because basically we were led to believe that Durandal was like, one of the top, like one of the strongest Valkyries here, but Fu Hua in the shadowy form is like extremely like overpowering her. And in the next scene we also see that Kevin, I don't know, maybe Durandal and Kevin, oh yeah, but they did team up in the last chapter, so it looks like Kevin over here is actually having a hard time as well. And he asks, like, are you friend or foe? Friend or foe, pick a side. So he's actually battling with her. And then we get introduced to this cool scene where he's sticking out his sword. Oh yeah, before that, she says, my past was nothing but a failure. Those I wanted to protect all perished. And then we see these feathers. At the first instance, I had no idea who this character was, but only when I saw the feathers, I'm thinking, those feathers did kind of look familiar. Like, where have I seen these feathers before? Then I just remembered it was, I think it was Dark Phoenix's feathers from from the previous story chapters. Then we see Kevin basically sticking out his sword, and then we see Dark Fu Hua over here, like standing, like like squatting on his sword basically, and it looks like what she has is like a great sword. I'm not too sure. The shape looks extremely similar to the ones that you get within the game. I think it's called a great sword. I'm not exactly sure. And then these feathers drop, and they do like this kind of like piercing attack, and we see that that this armored knight here that Durandal normally spawns when she does an ultimate attack, I think in this battle suit, is basically like disintegrating. Then it cuts to another scene where it's like nighttime now, and Bronia is just like driving. It doesn't look like she's actually like driving in haste or anything like that. It looks like she's just like driving, so I'm not too sure what's going on there. Excuse me. And then the next scene, we see that her hologram pops up, basically, and to notify her that there's something following her or something like that. And then we see this cool scene here where we see Fu Hua like on a missile, basically, like basically hitching a ride on a missile that's been launched. I think basically in this form she must have materialized this missile, and she's basically chasing down Bronia, or we don't know if she was actually chasing her down, or maybe she just happened to see her on the way. But basically, she slowly turns around. To be honest, this is like really a cool scene here, where she's just riding on the rocket and she just like slowly turns her head and laughs. And then she goes on the attack. And basically Bronia gets knocked down into the water. Project Bunny saves her and projects like a shield around her. And then we get this like really freaky kind of scene where Dark Fu Hua just like smashes herself against the shield. Basically, she's trying to break it. I mean, that is just like that is just like epic. It's like so insane, but like a good type of insane. I mean, yeah. And then what we see here is that what was interesting was that Project Bunny grabs Bronia when the shield breaks. Project Bunny grabs Bronia and he chucks her all the way up out of the ocean. Then Fu Hua says, I'll now transform this world into one I desire with my own hands. And then basically what looks like what happened was that Fu Hua basically destroyed Project Bunny. That's what it looks like, because there's a big explosion underwater. Project Bunny throws Bronia to safety, and it looks like he blew up. So I don't know, maybe he is actually like destroyed for good. We don't know. I don't think so. Maybe he can regenerate back in the sea at Quanta. Maybe he can regenerate. I'm not too sure, but that was like shocking. I mean, you wouldn't expect that to happen to Project Bunny. Okay, then it cuts to this like tower scene, and we can see like there's like a red thunderstorm taking place here. We can see there's a figure here in this tornado of red dark clouds that's just swirling around like a tornado basically. Then Keanu's like, you are. Then Fu Hua is like, can't you recognize me anymore? Can't you recognize me anymore? And she's like, Keanu. Oops. And yeah, so that was like really, really freaky. The thing is, I'm not too sure if this is a new outfit. I don't know if is that Stigmata. I'm not too sure. Okay, this outfit is not really looking. It's not really looking familiar, so I don't know which battlesuit this must be. And then Fu Hua ends with the phrase, "I will reverse all creations." So, I mean, like what on earth just happened here in this entire spoiler trailer? So the thing is, the last time I remember what happened was in the story chapter. Let me just. In the last story chapter that we saw Fu Hua, basically, we never see the battle where Kevin and Fu Hua fought, but we heard that she basically that we heard basically that she must have died basically, and Kevin saying that he will resurrect her or he will bring her back to life or something of that sort in time. So regarding that first battle, so I don't know, maybe Kevin did manage to bring Fu Hua back, but it doesn't look like the case here because he's basically struggling to fight her. Or maybe he did bring her back, but he probably brought back an evil version of her. But then again, we have to think that she's also like 50,000 years old. So maybe all of that time and all of that, all of those like past lives and all of that stuff, maybe just finally just got to her and she just turned evil. But what some people are saying is that maybe this is like a Herrscher form of Fu Hua. So I think that's rather interesting as well. Actually, let's just really check that quickly. Oops, wrong. Okay. Okay, Impact third. Herrschers. I think this might have something. Okay, it wasn't this. Okay, but I know there was probably a site. I think it must have been this one here. Oh, here we go. This is the one I was looking for. So let's see. This is basically a fan page, fandom of. This is a Honkai third wiki. So they have a list of Herrschers. So I don't know where they're actually getting the information from. But if we look here, let's try and find Kiana. Sorry, not Kiana. I mean Fu Hua. Rachel May, Wendy, Anna. Oh, so there isn't actually a Fu Hua Herrscher here. Oh. Okay, never mind. Just forget about that. So I think maybe this is like maybe a Herrscher form of Fu Hua. So it could be that maybe Kevin brought her back, or maybe in that previous 4.3 stream we see Kiana and Bronia like going into this like one landscape. Maybe, and we saw clips of Fu Hua, so maybe they tried to bring her back, and maybe they somehow didn't bring her back in the right way, and maybe she kind of became the Herrscher that way, or maybe Fu Hua just happened to bring herself back, and then maybe Durandal and Kevin must have been there, and they must have just fought. So it's interesting to think that maybe she is a Herrscher, but maybe like the Herrscher of corruption or something like that. Yeah, I think that's about it. Just checking to see if I missed anything. But overall, this was like so like wow, and I didn't really expect anything like this. I mean, it was just so epic how she's just like basically just overpowering the characters that we thought were like like really strong, like Kevin and Durandal, and also like Bronia. I mean, she's a Herrscher, and obviously this Fu Hua's dark form or whatever this is is basically stronger than her Shura form. I know each Shura like has like a different like strength and all that stuff. You can't really say that like each one is at an equal strength and all that stuff. But like just to think that like it took like this dark Fu Hua basically took out the Herrscher of reason. I mean, yeah, basically she would have killed Bronya if Project Bunny never throw her away, or like throw her out into say like out of the water. So like like I wonder how strong this Fu Hua actually is. I mean, how are they going to stop her? I'm just checking to see if I missed anything. So one of the other speculations that I had was that maybe when she said she reversed all creation, so I'm thinking maybe this is where Honkai Impact ends, and then she actually succeeds and she reverses creation, and then that's how somehow we get Ganesha Impact. Sorry, Genshin Impact. That is probably like a new era as such, because Fu Hua reversed all creation, and then in one of the Genshin Impact trailers, we see a character, a female villain that looks similar to the Herrscher of the Void. So what I was thinking was that maybe somehow Kiana must have somehow survived this this recreation, but she like kind of like knows like what happened in the previous era. So that was just one of my speculations. But then you have to think about. Then I started to think about what about a post Honkai Odyssey? Where does that fit in? So I'm thinking maybe that is obviously incorrect. So yeah, I think maybe this starts a post Honkai Odyssey somehow. Anyways, I think that's about it. So overall, this was like really like shocking, but like insane, but like a good type of insane. And I just love this Dark Fu Hua's character. I mead, the way she's portrayed like this, like like this crazy kind of villain. That's pretty cool. So yeah, go ahead to head over to the Honkai Impact 3rd YouTube page and watch the video. And yeah, so this might just be what's going to happen in the next story chapter. So that's really exciting. So I'm quite excited for the next story chapter, which is going to be released on the 1st of October. So I can't wait to play that. So on the 1st of October, we'll be playing that. And yeah, anyway guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you all just now, and we're going to be playing maybe some tactical training and post Honkai Odyssey, and maybe some co-op. Okay guys, cheers for now. I'll see you all just now.